He was one of those guys that was always so much fun to be around, you know. It was never boring being around Phil.
He added to every group he was ever with, you know. And have you ever known anybody that had a bigger heart than Phil Stewart?
If you had Phil Stewart as a friend, you didn't hardly need any other friends.
There were so many times, Mark, that we would be traveling or something, and he'd identify a child that wasn't going to have a meal.
That's
and
right.
He'd walk over, slip them $5 and say, "Go down there and get you a burger or something."
That's right.
And, you know, you can't say enough about the guy's heart or what he gave to the school. He loved this place like nobody else.
He did, and if he found some student athlete that needed some equipment, needed a ride to practice, needed a place to stay for a while, he was all over it. Phil would just get it done. He didn't want any recognition for it. He would simply do it because it was right here in him.
When they called me about this deal, they said, "Where would you like to do it?" So I started thinking about where I remembered seeing Phil. So you start with the old gym in the doorway.
Have to.
Standing in the doorway, greeting everybody that came, sort of official, unofficial school person, wearing his Bulldog colors.
Always.
Always. Or, you know, out here, down at the gate.
Yeah.
Running around, doing anything that we needed to do for him to do. And, you know, you don't appreciate as much in the good times as in the bad times, because while he was close in the good times, he was like glue in the bad times.
Well, he was an old Fayetteville graduate, and he loved the purple. And upstairs on Friday nights in the football booth, you could tell he was all purple. He would give a little bit more than the tackler's number or the ball carrier's number. There was a few comments usually to go around with that, and it was hard to stay on an even keel. We had to turn the microphone off a few times with Phil in the background. Who could make that exciting as he did? And we were always cracking up when he was up there.
Yeah, we're always cracking up. You know, Phil was like, he had a joke handy.
He had
at
a
all
joke
times.
handy.
And one thing he would do is, you know how heavy the school business can get at times. He would always lighten it up. He'd walk in a room and fire off something that disarmed everybody. You know, he was just one of us. You think about us. Think about all the folks that made this place go back then. You can't think about us without thinking about Phil.
He was one of us, and he couldn't do enough for the youth of Fayetteville, and that's why Fayetteville has been so fortunate to have people like Phil Stewart. He would coach teams. He would be on the board of the youth center, for example, and he could never do enough. Remember when he helped out on the state baseball tournament every year? His favorite place to sit would be right there behind home plate against the screen at the stadium, chasing balls, giving balls from dugout to dugout.
Yeah. Well, you know, he felt responsible, even though we got a bunch of baseballs. It wasn't the day when we tossed the balls into the stands because we had to pay for them. We had to buy those things. And so Phil would run them down. I mean, he'd run them down. And it would take a very pitiful case for him not to take that ball and bring it back for us to use. You know, so, and he would do it. You know, if he had a job, he's all about it. When Phil got sick and had to cut down what he was doing and couldn't work full time, that was the best thing that ever happened to Fayetteville Schools.
It was.
Because he decided that his purpose, or one of his purposes, I don't know all of his purposes, but one of his purposes was going to be to help the schools and the kids here as much as he could.
Well, he did that, and the way he did it, like I said, when you had Phil Stewart as a friend, you knew you had a great friend. He would do anything for you at any time, and that's really the way he was to the Fayetteville Public Schools also.